Hello everyone, welcome to Lukmaan IAS. Today we are going to have the Hindu newspaper analysis dated 17th of October 2023. In today's newspaper analysis, we are going to cover a mapping topic and then we will discuss about some important articles from the newspaper. And today there were many interesting articles in the newspaper. We are going to cover all of them one by one. So these are the list of articles that we are going to cover. We are going to do mapping of Afghanistan as a country, right? So in all, we are going to discuss about 10 topics today. That includes a mapping topic also. So this is the first topic, Afghanistan. So why Afghanistan is important? Because of many factors. What are the factors? One of the factor is recently earthquake has happened in Afghanistan. Recently, I mean, like, two earthquakes came one after another, and the aftershock that came, it was of also the same magnitude, 6.3 magnitude as the original earthquake. So for that reason, Afghanistan is in news. And apart from this, we know about Taliban government. So Taliban government, I mean, they have ousted the American presence from Afghanistan last year or last to last year, right? So last year they have ousted completely. But the thing is, they came into power, and this year again it was a news that the Afghan currency of Afghanistan, it has been appreciating in a manner that has even surpassed US dollar. I mean, it has appreciated. Appreciated means its value increased, right? Very rapidly. It became one of the strongest currency. I mean, it became one of the strongest currency in a specific time period. For that reason also, Afghanistan was in news. Okay, so it was in news for multiple factors like this. So that's why we need to understand where is Afghanistan located, how many countries surround Afghanistan, and we need to see other important places also in Afghanistan. So this is the they have said, I mean, since the Taliban government came in being, so increasingly different countries have started recognizing the Taliban as a, let's say, legal government over there. So for that reason, I mean, earlier the currency has depreciated so much that now it has started appreciating. I mean, it was in news. Okay, means maybe a month or so, means 1 or 2 months back it was in news. So I mean, I came across that thing, that news, but I did not go much deeper into it. I mean, other factors. But these are the reasons for which Afghanistan is in news, right? So selection of topic, I mean, the topic that we are covering, selection of topic requires a lot of skills. I mean, you should be able to identify, to see, I mean, which reason is important, right? So that's why the topics that we are covering on a daily basis, we cover different topics, and each topic is important for one or other reason. And so this is the map of Afghanistan we see, right? This is one of the map of Afghanistan. It showcases not only the physical portion of Afghanistan, but also political reasons. So it's a kind of amalgamation map of Afghanistan. So here, the region of Afghanistan has been shown using different colors. One of the color talks about the low-lying area. The other color talks about mountains. So the dark green color that we see, it is the mountains, okay? The yellow color, or let's say the grayish color, they are low level plains. And this gray color is hilly areas, okay? So the central portion of Afghanistan is mountainous region. As we can see, central portion of Afghanistan is mountainous region. So let us quickly identify which rivers are flowing through Afghanistan, right? Which rivers are flowing through Afghanistan? One of the river is Hari River. Hari River is flowing through Afghanistan. This is a strange thing. Afghanistan is majorly a Muslim dominated country. Here we see a river. Its name is Hari River. Okay. Second is Farah River. Okay. Second is Farah River. Then we have other rivers also. For example, this is Helmand River. Okay, so the name seems to be English origin, Christian. Okay, so this is Helmand River. Then apart from this, let us see other rivers also that may have presence over there. So one of the river is, let's say, like, one of the tributaries of the Indus River flows here, we can see. Okay, although its name is not mentioned here. Then we have Amu Darya River. This river actually, let's say, like, passes through the border of Afghanistan, the bordering region, Amu Darya River. Okay. Then one portion of this river is like, 3, 4, this is 5th river, this is Morghab River. So it is coming to Afghanistan like that, or maybe going from Afghanistan, because this is the hilly area. Generally, river originates from the mountains. So the high mountains, river originates from here. So high mountains are in the middle of Afghanistan. That's the thing. Okay. So this is the thing. These are the rivers of Afghanistan. Apart from this, where is the capital of Afghanistan? So capital of Afghanistan is Kabul. So this is located over here to the eastern portion of Afghanistan, I would say. And Hindu Kush is a mountain range. Okay, Hindu Kush is mountain range over here. Then Herat is a name of a place. Okay, Herat is name of a place. It has been in news, right? So these are some of the things. Then if we talk about Kandahar, many of us may have heard about this term, right? I mean, like, during reading history also, in history also mention of Kandahar is there. So this is the thing. So this is Afghanistan. I mean, like, we have seen some of the rivers. Once again, we will locate these rivers: Hari River, Farah River, then Helmand River, then we have this Morghab River and this Amu Darya River, right? So now let us identify how many countries are surrounding Afghanistan. This is also important. At least we should be knowing how many countries are surrounding Afghanistan. One of the thing is, let's say, to the western side of Afghanistan, we have Iran. So Iran shares a direct border with Afghanistan in the western part. To the south and southeast portion, we have Pakistan. Okay. To the south and southeast portion, we have Pakistan. That's the thing. And if we see the northern portion of Afghanistan, so there are 3 countries, and these 3 countries are known as Central Asian countries. For example, if we talk about this Turkmenistan, it does have a border with Afghanistan. Turkmenistan, it is a Central Asian country. There are 5 Central Asian countries. Out of those, 3 share border with Afghanistan. Second is, means like, this is the 4th country in that way, Uzbekistan, right? And 5th is Kyrgyzstan. You see, this is Kyrgyzstan. Kyrgyzstan is upward. This is Tajikistan. Tajikistan, okay? Tajikistan has borders with it. And if we see, does Afghanistan share border with India? In actual terms, we need to see over here. I have recently searched. It showcases it share border with China. Afghanistan shares border with China. So in that perspective, there are 6 countries. Okay. With India, it is disputed. Okay, whether it directly shares border with India or not. That's the thing. So Iran, Pakistan, right? Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, and Tajikistan. So these are 3 countries from Central Asia. Iran is there, Pakistan is there, and then China is there. 6 countries. Okay, that's important. So these are the countries that shares border with Afghanistan. Apart from this Hari River that we have located over here, this is also written as Harirud. Okay, it is known as Harirud. Okay, then this is Helmand River, and these are Manzar-e-Sharif, or let's say, like, other places in Afghanistan. Okay, that's the thing. So with this, I hope some perspectives may have been received. Thank you so much, Vijay Lal, for joining. Good evening. So, like, we have located some rivers, we have identified the mountain ranges, and we have also located the capital. We have seen how many countries surround Afghanistan. So it is important, I mean, like, from geopolitical point of view also, because recently Amit Shah, the Home Minister of India, he has talked about that those people, those Punjabi speaking people who are there in Pakistan, who are there in Afghanistan, if they want to return to India, let's say they are not now presently citizens of India, if they want to return to India, so they will be provided a relief, they will be getting the citizenship of India through the Citizenship Amendment Act of 2019. Recently, the government of India has amended the Citizenship Act. So they say like they will be getting some kind of relief to, let's say, come back to India. So for that reason also this was in news. Okay, so there are many perspectives why Afghanistan is in news. So that's why like we thought of locating this place. So having understood this, now let us talk about the first topic for the day. Okay, this topic says the Indian Himalayan region needs its own environmental impact assessment. This is a very, very important topic. This is important from the viewpoint of environment and ecology. It is important for GS paper 3 of the mains exam. It is also important for the prelims exam. It is important for geography as well. Okay. So these are the reasons why this topic needs to be studied, right? We have identified this topic. So let us write down name of the topic, the Indian Himalayan region. Name of the topic is the Indian Himalayan region needs its own EIA, right? Needs its own EIA. So now we will understand about this, right? So first of all, we need to understand what do we mean by this EIA. EIA stands for Environmental Impact Assessment. Okay, it stands for Environmental Impact Assessment. In short, it is known as EIA. So in India, we follow the practice of environmental impact assessment. However, the concept, this particular concept, came from United Nations Environment Program. Okay, so if I talk about the environmental impact assessment, this concept came from United Nations Environment Program. Okay, it came from United Nations Environment Program, UNEP. This concept came from here. Now we need to understand what is environmental impact assessment. Environmental impact assessment is done, right, by an authority. In every country it is done by authority. In case of India, it was initially done by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. It was notified by the Government of India. And this environmental impact assessment is done under an act which is there, okay, under an act which is there. So this is, let's say, the Environment Protection Act, I think, right? So this is the 1986. So this is done under which act in India? Environment Protection Act 1986. Okay, Environment Protection Act 1986. Okay, it is also known as EPA. So under Environment Protection Act, we do environment impact assessment. For what environment impact assessment is done, that is also important. Okay, so now let us understand about this. For example, let's say there is a company, there is a corporate, and this particular corporate wants to, let's say, make a project in a particular region. Let's say this is the region, right? And here they want to establish a project. Okay, I'm just writing project A. Right, so they want to establish a project over here, and this particular region that is there, this is region. Okay, in this particular region, what happens? There are various natural features. Maybe let's say, like, there are rivers flowing through it. There are forests over here. Okay, maybe let's say hilly area. Okay, it can be a hilly area, or it can be a mountainous region, right? It can be a mountain also, it can be a mountain as well. So it can have any kind of natural feature. If the project that this company wants to establish, that this company wants to have in a particular region like this, So the thing is like this project may have some of its effect on the nature, may have its impact on the environment of that particular region. So the government needs to see that what is the nature of the project. Is this project environmentally sustainable over here? Maybe this project may be related to chemical factory. Let's say like, this project that this company wants to come up with. So maybe they want to establish a chemical processing factory. Okay, maybe a chemical processing factory. If it is a chemical processing factory, we need to see what is the nature of chemical, what is the nature of byproduct, what is the nature of waste that this company may generate, or the process that it is going to follow to make chemicals. Is this process going to have any kind of environmental impact? Means like whether it is going to release some kind of pollutants in the form of gas, or in the form of, let's say, liquid, or in the form of maybe like odor. So it can be, the pollutant can be of any nature. So the authorities need to check whether this is going to have some impact on the environment of this locality. So the thing is like, this United Nations Environment Program has conceptualized what is environmental impact assessment. Environmental impact assessment is a kind of assessment where we see impact of any project, right, in a particular location. So the thing is, if this project is going to, let's say, like cost to the environment, so in that case the clearance may be withheld by the authorities. If it is not going to impact the assessment as compared to the benefit that it is going to generate for itself and for the communities, in that case a clearance may be awarded. Okay, so the thing is, the authorities see many stakeholders in this case. So who can be the stakeholders in this case? Okay, so if I talk about establishment of any kind of projects, okay, so we need to see who can be the stakeholders. Let's understand about this concept, because the stakeholders play a very important role. So the thing is, the company or project that is going to be established, this project, okay, this particular project, or the project like we have named as A, project A, this project may be made by the, first of all, maybe of the government, it may be of some private entity. Okay, it may be of some private entity. If it is for some private entity, so generally this particular project may have been, let's say, initiated with a profit motive. What? With a profit motive. Means if it is by a private owner, and if it is by the government, it may be having for some public good. It may be for some public, let's say, utility or public good, right? So one of the stakeholder is the organization, is the company that is establishing this project. Other kind of a stakeholder, the other stakeholder would be the local communities over here, local people, okay, local people or local community. So they are also one kind of stakeholder in this project. Apart from this, the stakeholders are, let's say, the environment is also a stakeholder, although it is not considered as a natural person, but environment itself is a stakeholder in this case, because like from environment we get recreational, we do recreational activity. So environment itself is a kind of a stakeholder. Apart from this, right, civil society organizations, okay, or maybe environmentalist, okay, environmentalist, right, environmentalist are also stakeholders in this case, right? And also the product that is being made. So what kind of product is being made by this particular project? So the end user of products, right, end users of products are also stakeholders, right? There have been many cases, for example, Bhopal gas tragedy that has happened. I mean, like, although it was Union Carbide, I mean, like name of the company, I think, Union Carbide. So it has led to leakage of gases. It has affected the local community. I mean, many people died, and later on, like, it has, let's say, intergenerational effects. So people who were residing at that point of time, they have died, and their children, I mean, like, they are also suffering presently as well. So the thing is, like, local people are one of the most important stakeholder, right? So the thing is like before establishing any such projects, the government, okay, the government or government authorities, in this case the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, okay, MOEFCC. So that is an important organization that is going to regulate this thing. So the thing is like, they need to assess the environmental impact of any project. After then they need to give clearance. So this environmental impact assessment thing has been notified by the government, right, in let's say many times since 1984. In 1984 they have notified it for the first time. Later on in 2006 they have, let's say, notified another, and that was considered to be an important notification. In 2020 again they have notified a kind of let's say another draft EIA norms, and that has been criticized by many people because they have talked about some strategic projects, and those strategic projects, they said, do not need environmental impact assessment at the beginning. They can file it at a later date also, or for some projects it is completely excluded, right? So these are the things for which the environmental impact assessment thing has been in news. So the thing is like this environmental, what role does it play? If we talk about the role of the environmental impact assessment, role of EIA, what is the role does it play? So it acts as a check, okay, it acts as a, so it acts as a check on unthoughtful, right, unthoughtful developments, okay, developments that can affect the environment, okay, developments that can affect the environment. I'm just writing E and B, environment. What is the second role that the environmental impact assessment does? Generally, the second role is that it leads to awareness generation, right? It leads to awareness generation. Awareness generation in the sense, for example, if there is a project A, if this project has gone through the environmental impact assessment EIA clearance, it means other people who will get to know that this project has passed the EIA process, they will be knowing that, like, it is environmentally safe, it is environmentally friendly. So this awareness generation actually helps in many ways. One of the way is it avoids conflict. For example, there is a project that has been established, but people don't know whether EIA has happened for this project or not. So the local community may start protesting against it. Unnecessarily, it may lead to some kind of conflict. Okay, that's the thing. So it leads to awareness generation. It helps in avoiding what? Conflict. Okay, avoiding conflicts. And second is, it is a sound environmental practice. Okay, it is a sound environmental what? Sound environmental practice, right? So this is the thing. I mean, like, it plays many important roles. The EIA plays many important roles. But the thing is, like, if we talk about EIA, there are some lacuna in the way that EIA is, let's say, implemented in India. What is the lacuna? One of the important thing that the company, okay, the company that wants to set up a project, this company has to let's say fund. What they have to do? They have to fund the environmental impact assessment. They themselves have to get the environmental impact assessment done. So if they fund little more, so those people, right, those people who are doing, right, people who are involved in the EIA, so they will tend to clear this particular EIA application. They will try to make it in such a manner that it gets passed by the ministry. So the thing is, like, these companies are doing it for their own sake. I mean, like, I need to get my EIA done. I need to fund it over here. If I fund a little more, so the project may get passed. So one of the recommendation is the EIA process should be done by the ministries, should be done by the authorities, independent authorities, so that, like, they can see whether the project can is environmentally sound or not. If it is funded by the companies, in that case, what happens? there is a dark area, gray area over here. Okay, so this is one of the concern related to this. And also in India, it is being considered that this EIA process is just ticking the box kind of activity. Okay, ticking the box kind of activity means, let's say you have a form that you need to fill, and there are things, places you need to just tick, yes, yes, it does this, this, this. Actually, if it is done in this manner, like on ground job will not be done. So this is just a paperwork. Okay, so these are some of the, what we say, criticism of the EIA process. Okay, these are some criticism of the EIA process. So now in this article, the author has talked about the importance of getting the EIA done, right, for the Himalayan region of India. Okay, for Indian Himalayan region, IHR. IHR means Indian Himalayan region. Why Indian Himalayan region? Because recently we have seen, right, we have seen some kind of disasters. Okay, some disasters have been seen, and these disasters was because we did not do proper environmental impact assessment of our Indian Himalayan region. For example, one of the example is recently the Sikkim flood. This is like, you know, glacial lake outburst flood. Okay, so that was there. Second was landslides in Himachal Pradesh. There are many such examples, right? Joshimath sinking, many things can be related to this. So the thing is, like, you know, the author says that Indian Himalayan region needs an environmental impact assessment of its own. I mean, like, we need to do EIA of the Himalayan region, not the projects. I mean, like, the region needs environmental impact assessment. We need to identify which moraines, or like, you know, which glacial lakes may have some kind of glacial lake outburst flood in future, because if we do an assessment, we'll be able to identify the vulnerabilities associated with many regions over there. If we are able to identify the vulnerabilities, we may take measures, right? We may take preventive measures for any to avoid any kind of such disasters that has happened, right? So that's why the author says that Indian Himalayan region needs an environmental impact assessment of its own. Okay, so despite an understanding of the fragility of the Indian Himalayan region, there is a scant acknowledgement of its need for a different set of environmental standards and clearances. So through this article, the author tries to put an emphasis that the Indian Himalayan region needs an environmental impact assessment, and that's going to be, let's say, like, you know, important for the government of India. That's going to be an important activity that we need to do. Other things they have mentioned about some cases also. For example, Lafarge. Okay, they have mentioned about some cases where the Supreme Court of India has talked about independent appraisal of the environmental impact assessment. They have discussed about, let's say, Lafarge Umium Mining Private Limited, and then there were in 2011, then there was T.N. Godavarman Thirumalpad versus Union of India 1996 case. In this case, the Supreme Court of India has talked about, let's say, like, you know, they have given dictionary definition to the forest. Recently, Government of India has come up with Forest Amendment Act. So that Amendment Act is being criticized for its, let's say, like, you know, diluting the provisions of environmental protection. So this is a good article, and this article, let's say, highlights the importance of environmental impact assessment. A question may come in the mains exam from this topic in GS paper 3. So this is a good topic in that regard. Now we have another topic. We'll discuss about this topic. It says confronting the long-term risk of artificial intelligence. Okay, this is also very, very important topic. So name of the topic is confronting the long-term risk of artificial intelligence. I hope all of us understand what is confronting meaning. Means like, coming face to face with the risk of artificial intelligence. Why we are talking about risk of artificial intelligence? Because the artificial intelligence is at its early stage of development at this point of time. Okay, so we have recently seen various applications of AI. Okay, so in this article we are going to discuss about the concept of artificial intelligence, right? We are going to discuss about it. What is artificial intelligence? In short, it is known as AI, and this is an important topic under science and technology. It is important for GS paper 3, and there is a likelihood that a question may come in 2023 mains exam. In 2023 mains exam, they have already asked, explain the concept of artificial intelligence and discuss the applications of artificial intelligence in medical diagnosis. So a question has been asked from this topic, artificial intelligence, in UPSC CSE mains, right? UPSC CSE mains 2023. From, you need to define what is artificial intelligence, you need to talk about its application in the field of medical diagnosis, and also you need to talk about, let's say, the concerns related to privacy risk of individuals. So there was a question, I mean, like recently I had taken discussion of the questions of 2023 UPSC paper. So there I have discussed about it in detail, right? So today we are going to talk about different types of artificial intelligence. Then we are going to talk about the risk that artificial intelligence may pose. Okay, so what can be the different types of artificial intelligence? Broadly, if we talk about types of artificial intelligence, one is known as narrow AI, one is known as narrow artificial intelligence, and second is known as general AI. What? General artificial intelligence. There can be other sub-classifications of it. There can be different ways of looking into it. But what do we mean by narrow AI? Narrow AI means, I'll talk about some applications of AI. For example, if we talk about this chat GPT that we know, what it does, we ask some questions there, it gives us answer. So what it does means like it is processing the language. It is a language processing model. Okay, so it is for a specific application, means like you ask questions, it is giving answer in text format. So it is known as narrow AI. Apart from this, there can be other examples. For example, the Google Translate that we use, I mean, like we are giving some input in some language, maybe in English. If you want it in Arabic, so it happens quickly. That's also a language processing system that translates from one language to another. They also have artificial intelligence as part of it, right? So that's also, let's say, application of artificial intelligence. So all those applications where it is focused on certain aspects of AI, that's known as narrow AI. You have recently seen that, like even in television, for example, news anchors, AI-based news anchors can be there. It's an application of narrow AI. It's kind of narrow AI. Then if I talk about general AI, right, general artificial intelligence. So one of the thing in general AI will be that, like, it is going to, let's say, operate on complex sets of data. For example, ChatGPT just operates on text format of data. It may be operating on text, it may be operating on speech, it may be operating on image, it may be operating on video, right? And not only that, the same system will be able to get a data from video. It may give an output in speech, it may give an output in image format, like that. It's not only this, it's going to apply the human brain. I mean, like, it's going to surpass the capacity of human thinking. I mean, like, it will be able to generate its own thought, it's going to apply that thought. So the time when it is going to overpower the human thinking capacity, so that it becomes autonomous enough to do the things on its own. That is known as general AI. Okay, so this general AI is a far distant thing. Maybe down the line after 20 years, maybe companies will be able to achieve the general AI. But the question arises, do we have any risk associated with this? How these risks are being dealt by different countries? So that's the thing that is being talked in this article. So in this article, they have discussed about a report. Okay, they have talked about a report, and that report talked about, let's say, like, regulation of AI. That report talks about regulation of artificial intelligence. Why do we need to regulate? Because we want to, let's say, like, be on a safer side. We want to avoid any kind of imminent risk from the development of artificial intelligence. So in this article, they have talked about one specific report, and so I'm going to talk about that report. Okay, and also in this article, they have talked about like this thing, movie as well. Okay, so Center for AI more than So Center for AI Safety. So they have talked about two things. One is Center for AI Safety. Second is the AI index from Stanford University. Okay, so like we will talk about, one thing is in this article they have talked about Center for AI Safety. Okay, there is a Center for AI Safety of the Government of India. Then second thing is they have talked about that the AI index, the artificial intelligence index, the AI index from Stanford University. Stanford University. So let's discuss about this. This Center for AI Safety, people from this Center for AI Safety, more than 350 AI professionals have voiced their concerns over the potential risk posed by AI technology. Okay, so greater than 350 AI professionals have talked about the risks, okay, that can be posed by this AI safety. And the AI index of the Stanford University, they talk about that around, right, 127 countries passed 37 laws. Okay, around 137 countries, right, passed 37 laws, and these laws talk about artificial intelligence. These laws talk about artificial intelligence. So now let's talk about that. We understand why regulation of AI is needed, so that we can avoid risks related to AI. Recently, the European Union, okay, the European Union has passed a legislation that is known as the EU AI Act. Okay, they have passed an act which is known as the European Union AI Act. They have passed an act, and this is one of the most notable act. Why it is one of the most notable act? Because through this act, they have laid the foundation of regulation of AI. What? They have laid the foundation of regulation of AI, right? And they have talked about two important things. Means like AI, let's say like, these AI systems. So during the deployment state, okay, during the deployment or developmental state, they have seen if these AI systems pose any risk. Okay, they have seen if they pose any risk. So based on the level of risk that they may pose, so they have made the regulation. Okay, they have talked about regulation. For example, those AI systems that are highly risky, okay, those AI systems that are highly risky, so they have talked about a complete ban of those systems. And those AI systems that are risky, they have talked about that its development can continue, however there will be proper regulation and oversight. Similarly, those that are less risky, they have, let's say, given a green signal to it that these can be developed. Okay, so so the European Union AI Act that they have come up with, so they have created a regulation framework based on the imminent threat that these AI systems can have. Okay, so this EU AI Act is an important thing. There are many countries that have passed an AI Act. It is China that has passed, the Japan it has passed. India is in the process of, let's say, negotiating, formulating, or let's say policy making stage. We have not passed an AI related act. But the thing is, like, regulation of artificial intelligence is an important activity. Why? Because, like, in this article they have talked about that someone has, there is a book which is known as the Yuval Noah Harari, 21st Lessons from 21st Century. Yes. So this person, Yuval Noah Harari, I mean, like, he is one of the most influential writers. I think he is from Israel. Okay. So this person has written a book, 21 Lessons for the 21st Century. Okay. 21 Lessons for the 21st Century. I mean, like, so this is what we remember, but the name may be little different. So like, this person has written one thing. This person has written that, like, this artificial intelligence, if artificial intelligence is allowed to work with biotechnology, okay, if it is allowed to work with biotechnology, so it will be a disaster for human being. He has talked about, he has warned, he has given extreme warning, okay, extreme warning for combination of artificial intelligence with biotechnology. Okay, so this is an important, let's say, threat that AI system may pose in future. So this person has written this book. He has many, let's say, viewpoints related to this, why he has put this way. So that's why we need to regulate the artificial intelligence system. And in this article, they have also talked about, let's say, like, movie. There can be many movies. I have myself seen some movies. That one of the movie they have talked about is Ex Machina. Okay, so in this Ex Machina, there is a character, that character, let's say, surpasses the human reasoning capacity, and they overtake, let's say, like, all the systems. Okay, that was there. And recently there was another movie that I have myself seen. So there Priyanka Chopra is there, like Hollywood movie. Priyanka Chopra is there. So like, they also work on some AI systems. I don't remember the name of the movie, but I have seen it. Yeah, right. Netflix, I think. So there also they talked about this AI system and its, let's say, like, some complexities that may be associated. So through this article, the author wants to put forward that risk related to AI should be assessed. We need to come up with regulation, and the regulation should not lack with respect to the development of AI. So as the development is happening, we need to regulate it more. So author says countries must not fall into the trap of loosening their regulatory framework to maintain competitiveness. Okay, so we need to maintain competitiveness also, but like, we should not lose the, let's say, regulatory framework related to AI systems. So this is also a very good article. It has given a viewpoint, like, a kind of perspective to us. So Vijay Lal has typed something. Sir, EIA 2022 has flaws like post facto clearance for the approval of the project. Right? Yes, you have written it right. We have discussed it also during the first topic discussion. Now we have another topic. This topic is also important. It says palliative care, a way to reduce financial distress for people with life-limiting diseases. Okay, so we are going to discuss this topic also in detail. Right, this is also an important, but like, we'll be little quick in discussing, but we are going to cover multiple perspectives related to this. Name of the topic is palliative care. Palliative care, and let's say, like, a way to reduce financial distress for people with life-limiting diseases. Now let us understand what do we mean by palliative care. Okay, this is an important concept. Okay, palliative care. So when we talk about palliative care, we are talking about, let's say, caring for those people who have diseases that are end-stage diseases. I mean, like, those diseases that remain with an individual once he is affected with this disease for lifelong. For example, there can be many such examples. One of the example is HIV, like, what is the full form of HIV? Human immunodeficiency syndrome. Okay, HIV virus. Yeah, that's AIDS. Like that, HIV. So if a person is affected by HIV, it is very difficult that like he may be treated. So like his life, I mean like he starts counting like how many days he's going to, I mean like, you know, how many days he's going to like stay. Human, let's say HIV, AIDS, we have talked about. Then there are cancer. In this article, they have not talked about it. I'm just taking it as an example. Cancer are there. There can be many other diseases. Once these diseases affect a person, so these diseases may stay lifelong with that person. I mean like, you know, although cancer related, lot of different types of treatments are there related to many cancer, but some cancers are there for which no care is there. Okay, that can be the thing. So we are talking about care for those diseases that are known as generally end-stage diseases, or the diseases that affect the old people, I mean like, you know, old age, they have some kind of diseases. For example, if I talk about dementia, Parkinson's disease, so like it is like this cannot be completely eradicated, it stays with them, we can only reduce their impact. So when we talk about palliative care, the author says that despite 4 decades of having the presence of palliative care in India, it's been 40 years that we do have the presence of palliative care in India, but the thing is like awareness among the health professional is very low. The hospitals may be knowing, most of the doctors do not understand what is palliative care. The healthcare professionals do not understand what is palliative care. Even awareness among the citizens, among the, let's say, masses, is very less related to palliative care. Since awareness is less, so that's why proper funding has not happened. Okay, so proper funding has not happened in this field of palliative care. So, and also the private institutions, except few private institutions, most of the private institutions do not have the facility of palliative care. Why they do not have the facility of palliative care? Okay, so in this article they have talked about private hospitals or institutions. Okay, the private hospitals do not have the facility of palliative care because these palliative care do not generate huge amount of profit for the hospitals. It is, the palliative care is adopted by patients to reduce their expenditure on health related ailments. So the thing is like it is not highly profit generating kind of business for the hospitals. So they have also neglected this, right, the palliative care system. Now the author says in this article that the government of India should come up with proper funding mechanism related to palliative care. They should generate the awareness among the masses, among the hospital administration, among the healthcare professionals about the importance of palliative care. If we have proper palliative care, we will be able to care for our patients, and those patients who are being treated by the hospitals of the government. So their children, their grandchildren will also have good regard for the hospitals. They will come up with, let's say, like, you know, more people to have the treatment. So they say it is, let's say, like there are many people who are not able to afford palliative care because of out of pocket expenditure, because they have less amount of money with them. Many people do not go to get treatment under palliative care. Okay, so they say that, like, you know, many families have been pushed below the poverty line because they could not afford this I mean, like, you know, out of pocket expenditure related to this thing. So in this article they have said so many things. They have said this palliative care has also been included as part of Ayushman Bharat mission. Okay, it has been included as part of Ayushman Bharat mission. But the thing is, despite its inclusion in primary and secondary healthcare systems, we do not find any presence of palliative care units. Okay, so they say like it is only in the paper, it is not there, let's say, like in practice. So palliative care should be given proper importance. So say it is the moral obligation of the health system to take care of people, especially when they are suffering from lifelong and life-limiting illness. Early initiation of palliative care in patients with advanced disease has shown to reduce healthy expenditure by up to 25%. Okay, through this article they raise the awareness about palliative care, why the healthcare systems need palliative care and all. So with this, now we will talk about a question related to this. With reference to palliative care, consider the following statements. It takes into consideration only the physical dimension of health. This is wrong. It takes into consideration the mental dimension of health as well. Only about 14% of the people who need palliative care currently receive it worldwide. So this is according to a study that has been mentioned in this article also. So only statement 2 is correct. Means like, only B is the right answer in this case. You can go through the explanation. So first is incorrect, second is correct, right? Now with this, we came to another topic. This topic is important. It says, court declines abortion plea. Says can't stop heartbeat of viable fetus. So this article has been written with reference to a kind of, let's say like, a kind of plea by a to-be mother. So she is admitted in AIIMS. That lady is 26 weeks pregnant. Okay, that lady is 26 now, maybe 27 weeks now, because last week we have discussed about the same topic. So she was 26 weeks pregnant and she did not want to carry on this child. She wanted to abort this child. However, there is an act in India and this act prohibits abortion beyond 24 weeks of pregnancy. I mean, like up to 24 weeks of pregnancy, women can go for abortion. But for that also there needs to be proper approval from the healthcare facilities. So we have Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act. This is known as MTP Act. Okay, Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act 1971. And this act has been amended in 2021, I think, or 2011. 2021 it has been amended. So according to this amendment act, according to the earlier act, it was 20 weeks. I mean, like, people can go for pregnancy, for abortion if the pregnancy is less than 20 weeks. But through this amendment act, they have increased it to 24 weeks. Okay, 24 weeks. But this woman has approached the, let's say like, through her counsel, she has approached the courts, and the matter came to the Supreme Court of India. And Supreme Court had to take a decision whether pro-choice, whether women has the choice to abort the child or whether the child has right to come to the earth. I mean, to see the world. So in this article, the Supreme Court of India has said, there is no case of pro-life or pro-choice, because that child, I mean, the council has said that she is physically, emotionally, mentally, financially and medically unable to carry, deliver or raise a child. She is in depression after the birth of her second child. So this, I mean, the lawyers make so much strong appealing arguments, right? But the thing is, the Supreme Court of India has said that this is no longer a case of pro-life or pro-choice thing. So she cannot medically terminate the child. Now the choice is now between preterm or full-term delivery. That's the thing. Yeah. So now she has to deliver the baby in the hospital, but the hospital authorities has to decide whether it should be a preterm delivery or post-term delivery or full-term delivery, like that. Okay. So this is the thing, this is the case. Okay. So this is a very, very important case where the Supreme Court has, let's say, upheld the pro-life thing, I would say, right? So that's the thing. Aims to constitute board to examine whether 22-week pregnant women can abort. Again, there was a case in front of the Delhi High Court. So Arshad Rehan, thank you so much once again for joining me. So you are typing, where are you from? I have answered it many times in previous day Hindu analysis as well. I am from Assam. Okay, so I'll write it here so that you see properly. I am from the state of Assam. Right, yes. All right. So thank you so much, Arshad Rehan, for joining me. So now let us discuss about this topic. It says aims to constitute board to examine whether a 22-week pregnant woman can abort. Okay. So here a case was in front of the Delhi High Court, and the Delhi High Court has to take a decision whether whether a woman can abort. Now the Delhi High Court has directed the AIIMS, All India Institute of Medical Sciences, to constitute a board, and that board should look into the medical case of the patient. I mean, like, they should look into the case of the patient and see whether it will be advisable for her to abort the child or keep the child. Okay. Now, why this woman has approached the court? Because this woman is a recently married woman. She is 31 years old. Right? She married like in May 2023. After she married, she is saying that she is being physically, mentally, and otherwise tortured by her husband. She wants to file for a divorce. However, so far she did not register any FIR. She did not file for any divorce, but she has approached the court to terminate the pregnancy. Okay. So this is the case. I mean, like, the healthcare professionals in AIIMS, they will constitute a board and they will see whether, like, she is advisable to abort the child or not. Okay, so this is, I mean, like, it's a kind of domestic violence case, and then pro-life, pro-choice decision, right? That's the thing. Then we have another topic. This topic is also important, very important. It says Supreme Court refers electoral bonds case to 5-judge constitution bench. So we need to understand what is electoral bond. Okay, let's talk about this topic quickly. Name of the topic is Supreme Court refers electoral bonds case. Supreme Court refers electoral bonds case to 5-judge constitution bench. To 5-judge constitution bench. Okay. Now we need to see this particular thing. Okay. So we need to understand what is electoral bonds. What is electoral bonds? Because the case revolves around this particular topic, electoral bonds. So electoral bonds are those bond papers, right? These are those bond papers, right, that can be purchased. Okay, so who is eligible to purchase it? Who is eligible, right? Eligible buyers of this bond, right? And then we need to see eligible receivers, eligible political parties, right? So we need to see this. These electoral bonds are instruments for donation. Electoral bonds are used for donation to political parties. What is the purpose? Purpose is donation to political parties. Political parties, right? Who are eligible buyers? A citizen of India, an institution, private institution in India, a government institution of India, an NRI, anyone who wants to donate to a political party, so they are eligible buyers. Okay, so like, citizens, right? Citizens, companies, etc. So they can buy. That's the thing. Who are eligible parties? I mean, like, who are beneficiaries of this? Eligible parties means we are talking about beneficiaries. Okay. Yes. Beneficiaries. Who can be the beneficiaries? The beneficiaries can be any political party who are recognized as national party by the Election Commission of India. Okay. So recognized national parties. Recognized. Yes. Recognized national parties. We need to check it once again. Maybe state parties are also. National party, I think. हाँ, मतलब जो who have more than 2 state में presence है, more than 6% votage, उस type का जो वो है, registered national parties can receive it. And then it is for political donation. Then if I talk about denomination of these electoral bonds, I mean, like, like कितने रुपए का आप electoral bonds purchase कर सकते हो, that is known as denomination. Okay, denomination. So if I talk about denomination of electoral bonds, it can be of rupees 1000, it can be of rupees 10,000, it can be of rupees 1 lakh, okay, 1 lakh, it can be of 10 lakh, it can be of 1 CR as well, okay. So these kind of denomination, I mean, like a single person can go and purchase, let's say 1 CR wala, and they can donate to a political party. So, but the thing is, like, those people who are donors, they are given the guarantee of anonymity, okay. Anonymity means if they donate to any political party, their identities will not be revealed to any citizen of India, to corporations, or like it will not be revealed, because, like, donors are given the guarantee of anonymity under the electoral bonds scheme of the government. So anyone who wishes to donate to any political party, they can donate. So other parties will not be knowing who has donated to this party and all. And so it is for the protection of the individual who are donating, but this is also raising the question of unchecked political funding to political parties. And recently, like, people have reached the Supreme Court of India. They have said that more than 95% of funding, political funding that is happening, it is just benefiting one party. What it is doing, it is benefiting just one political party, okay. This is the thing, and all of us understand which political party is getting benefited, right, through this electoral bonds scheme. So that's why the Supreme Court of India, I mean, like, they did not give a judgment by 1 judge bench, 2 judge bench, 3 judge bench. They have passed it to 5 judge bench of the Constitution. Why 5 judge bench is important? Because the verdict of 5 judge bench are, let's say, like, this is known as constitutional bench. Their verdict are more authoritative as compared to, let's say, 2 judge bench judgment, 3 judge bench judgment. So since it is known as constitutional bench, their verdicts are more authoritative.
Because we know 95% of the funding has been received by political parties, so different data is available.
Now we need to understand what kind of data is available. Now the thing is, like, the Election Commission of India, it is the information. For example, I am willing to donate to a particular political party, XYZ. Let's say my favorite party is BJP. I want to donate. Let's say, I mean, like, just an example. I want to donate to that party. I will go to the designated SBI branch. I will purchase this thing and I will donate. So my identity, my name, my phone number, my bank account detail will not be revealed to any authority. But what is the total amount that has come through electoral bonds will be reported by these banks, right, to the Election Commission of India. The political parties who are receiving the donation, they have to report it to the Election Commission of India that this amount we have received through electoral bonds in this month, from this month to this month. Means total amount of donation is to be told, right? It is the mandate by the Election Commission of India.
Cumulative data will be...
Cumulative data, individual data, yes. So that's the thing. And also there is no cap, I mean, like, that how much a person can donate. So these are the things that are being challenged in the court, okay. That's the thing. So courts say, like, they are going to hear this matter, and the petitioners, they say that it is an important thing because, like, it does have effect on the election, and so they are, let's say, molding the result of the election through these electoral bonds. So they have asked the Supreme Court of India to give a verdict before the next general election. So the Supreme Court of India said that October 31st will be the day on which they will start hearing this matter, the Constitution bench. It is a good topic, okay. So this Finance Act, so you have asked a question that, like, if people are debarred from this Representation of People Act, means, like, through this, even the political parties or individuals, they will not to declare it to general public. They need to disclose it in front of the Election Commission of India, like that. Right. But, like, they have got many such information through the RTI Act. I mean, like they have used RTI to get the information. Now we have another topic. We'll be little quick in covering this topic, I think. It says delay as tactic. Delay as tactic means we are talking about the collegium system. Now collegium system means like, you know, senior most 5 judges of the constitution of the, let's say, this Supreme Court of India. So they constitute a collegium and they recommend to the government that which judge is to be appointed to a high court, which judge is to be transferred from one high court to another court, which judge is to be elevated to the Supreme Court, like that. Okay, so they recommend, and generally it is expected from the government to abide by the recommendation of the collegium and give effect to it. However, the government, let's say, sits with the recommendation that the Supreme Court of India passes. So Supreme Court of India has recently pointed out to the government that they should do it on an immediate basis, otherwise, let's say, it hampers the process of judicial functioning. Okay, so here this case is related to appointment of the Chief Justice of the Manipur High Court. Okay, so the present Manipur High Court will be transferred to the let's say High Court of Calcutta, and some other let's say, like, you know, judge is going to be transferred to Manipur and he will be made the Chief Justice of the Manipur High Court. And there are many other cases that have been discussed, but like this is related to this thing. They have said delay is being used by the government as a tactic to stop the appointment. Okay, that's the thing. And they have said that, like, you know, the Chief Minister of India, I mean, like, he also did not take any step related to this since July 1. So in the month of July, they have recommended appointment of a judge. Then I mean, like, I don't know, he may be having something to say over there, right? But they have mentioned about Chief Minister in this article. Generally, like, you know, from the Supreme Court of India, it goes to the Ministry of Law and Justice, and the Ministry of Law and Justice, let's say, approves it, then it takes effect. Yes. That's the thing. Okay. But like, you know, the judges who are being transferred, they are also being consented. Okay. So the judge who is being transferred from Manipur High Court, he has said, either let me stay there in Manipur or send me to my parent cadre, I mean, like, to Madras High Court. But Supreme Court of India has rejected this thing. Okay. So this is the thing. Now we have another thing. It says Bengaluru's waste management plan. This is related to urban planning. It's part of Indian economy. So we will quick in this. So Bengaluru is a metropolitan city. In Bengaluru, we have, let's say, huge amount of what we say, this waste processing facilities, but it is also generating environmental pollution. It is generating odor in that region. So the like, you know, Bengaluru Municipal Corporation and the Karnataka government have decided to transfer this waste processing facility to some remote locations. Okay, so this is related to this. So the thing is, like, yeah, in the outskirts of the city. They have written many things related to this. However, we will not go much deeper into this article. Okay, so because, like, we have little less time related to this. Another is why exclude single women from opting for surrogacy. We will be quick. Here there is a woman who wants to, let's say, get a child through surrogacy. She is unmarried. She is 44 years old. But the surrogacy law in India that requires a woman to be 35 to 45, and they require the women to be either widowed or divorced women. Means, like, once married women are given the option to surrogacy, but this woman is unmarried. So she has said that, like, you know, her rights, like her fundamental rights under Article 14 and 21 are being curtailed through this particular thing. I mean, like, you know, through this legislation. So they have, she has approached the Constitution of India, and she has, she has approached the High Court, and she has challenged Section 21 or 2 Clause 1S of the Act. Of which Act? 2 acts basically. One is Surrogacy Act 2021. Okay. So this is the thing, and she has talked about another act also. 2 acts have been mentioned. One is Assisted Reproductive Technology Regulation Act and the Surrogacy Regulation Act of 2021. So these acts are in place that regulates the surrogacy in India. So she has challenged some of the provisions of one of the act, which is Surrogacy Regulation Act. Okay. So now we need to see what the High Court gives a judgment on this. As of now, no judgment has been given. The High Court has asked the center to give a reply. And the council has said that I need to take instruction from the government on this. Like that. Okay, so meanwhile it is there. Last topic is Gaganyaan mission. We know it is a space flight mission, human space flight mission of India. So this mission, I mean, like it is in the testing phase. They are testing one of the module which is known as Flight Test Vehicle Abort mission. So this module will be tested by the by ISRO on 21st October. As of now, I mean, like, you know, different components are undergoing testing and development phase. Once they have been tested properly, like all the systems are tested, then they are going to launch the Gaganyaan mission. So under Gaganyaan mission, they are going to, let's say, like send human beings, 3 astronauts to the space in low Earth orbit around 400 kilometers, like, you know, from the surface of the Earth. So that's all in today's Hindu newspaper analysis. I hope you have a good day ahead. So that's all from my side for the day. Thank you.